Okay, yesterday we were starting the Dinam of Brachos. So the last thing we learned is that when you make a bracha, you have to hold the thing in your right hand. If you're a left-handed person, you hold it in your left hand. Now therefore, if the food is not in front of you when you make a bracha, it's no good. So let's say you're planning to take an apple out of the refrigerator, and before you open the refrigerator door, you make a eight. It's no good. It's a bracha levatol. You have to say Baruch Shem Kol Malchus Olam Vaad, and you have to make another bracha when you take it out. But okay, if it was in front of you, then you don't have to make another bracha. Now is another interesting thing like this. What happens? You made a bracha on something, and it fell before you started eating or drinking. It fell out of your hand, and now it became disgusting that you can't eat it or drink it. So it fell into the garbage, or you had a glass of water, now it just fell out of you, or a cup of juice, right? You made a bracha, and all of a sudden it falls out of your hand, and that's it, you can't drink anymore. So the din is like this. If there's, let's take an example, you took a piece of cake, okay? And you made a bracha mezenos on the cake, it fell out of your hand, and that cake is, you can't get it back. But there's more cake in front of you, and your intention was when you made a bracha on that piece of cake that you're going to be eating more cake. So because it's in front of you and you had in mind when you make the bracha that you're going to be eating more cake, so then it's fine because the bracha was on that cake also. But if it's not, then you have to make you would have to make another bracha. Now what happened? You poured a cup of juice, you made a shahako, it fell out of your hand, the other juice, the bottle of juice was not in front of you, you were not planning to take another cup of juice, the din is you have to make a new bracha on that second cup of juice because a bracha is only on what's in front of you at the time you make the bracha. So you need, what? Yes, say Baruch Shem Kol Malchus Olam Vaad, yeah. But you had it already. You drank a little bit.
What if it's something you're eating or drinking for the first time? So you also say that shachion.
No, so shachion you only say on fruit. You don't say on a good piece of cream cake. You don't make shachion.
No, so a fruit, right? And like you said, you're going to eat a fruit. It
right.
It falls into the trash, whatever. It's not edible anymore. There's another one there, but you weren't planning on eating it.
But it was in front of you.
Yes, but you weren't planning on eating it.
Yeah, but then you're going to have to make another bracha. But not the shachiona. The shachiona would be good.
Okay.
What? Yeah, but he's asking not during Sfira. He's asking just
No.
in a regular day. We don't make shachiona during Sfira, the entire Sfira, only on Shabbos or Lag BaOmer. What? You have no more juice? Yeah. Then you have to say Baruch Shem Kol Malchus Olam Vaad. I'll tell you where this could be an interesting problem. What happens if you're officiating at a wedding and you're holding the cup of the rabbi's holding the cup of wine in his hand, or by the Sheva Brachos, you pass around the cup, right? No. It's possible, it could happen. The cup falls out of his hand. So you make the bracha b'rei agafen, and you start making the second bracha, and before the chassan and the kala drink, the cup falls down. The glass falls down. Or somebody's in the middle of making shower brachas. So halachically, the best thing would be that the rabbi should have in mind that maybe they're going to drink more. So then even if it spills, because otherwise you're going to have to make another b'rei agafen. And then the problem is then you're adding to the 7 brachas, you're making 8 brachas. It's a whole issue. So, it's an interesting scenario that can come up that could be very embarrassing, and then the question, what do you do with the bracha or not? Okay, but that's that then.
What do you do with the bracha? What do you do with the bride?
I want you to know, generally speaking, rabbis know already that when you perform a marriage, you don't use red wine.
Right.
You use white wine. Because it happened many times, they use red wine And under the chuppah, people are pushing this and that. And all of a sudden, the Kala's dress became completely purple. A couple of wine spills on a white gown could be very embarrassing for a Kala. So just for the practicality of it, generally speaking, in a chuppah, the rabbis like to use white wine better, because if it spills, it's not such a big stain, like a big purple stain on a gown. That's a great idea. So when you become a Kala, you'll wear purple. I suggest you.
Don't put it past them.
Sure. Okay, next. This is a very important din. It was interesting. I was teaching in the girls' high school today. So there was, it was the last day I was teaching this year. So they made some cookies, whatever. So a girl takes a cookie, and I say, okay, make a bracha. So she makes a bracha, and then while she's chewing, she didn't even swallow the first bite yet. While she's chewing, she's talking. She started telling me something about the cookie. So I said, do you know that according to different opinions, you'd have to make a new bracha? We don't, because it's a machlekes, so it's savik brachos lahakol. But this is this din as follows: you're not allowed to make any separation between the bracha and the eating, unless if it's something pertaining to the eating. In other words, let's say you make hamaitzi, okay, and then you realize they didn't bring the salt. Okay, so you say bring the salt. So even though you spoke between the bracha and the eating, but you bring the salt for the bread. So it's all part of the... But if you made a bracha on something and then you say, no, don't go into that room, so then you have to make a new bracha because you spoke, not pertaining to the bracha, in between the bracha and the eating. And you're not allowed to talk until you swallow the first bite. What happens, and he says, what happens if you did, then you have to make a new bracha. Now what happens, he says, he doesn't say it, but in Shulchan Aruch it says, what happens if you talk while you're chewing? So there's two opinions if you have to make a bracha or not. Therefore the din is you don't remake a bracha, because when there's a doubt about a bracha, you don't do it. Because brachas are rabbinic, and saying Hashem's name in vain is biblically forbidden. So whenever there's a doubt, except Berchas HaTorah, even that's a machlekes. But Berchas HaMazon, if you're full, then it's a biblical bracha. What?
Is it better to go get the salt yourself, or ask someone to get the salt?
It's better not to talk. The waiting itself is not a big problem.
So getting up and getting the salt yourself is better option.
Correct, than telling somebody to get it. Yes. If you're just quiet, it doesn't matter.
If you're making a spread, and you talk, not going to be able to.
If you what?
If you talk.
You made a bracha.
Again, you have to go wash again?
No. It depends. If you talk not pertaining to the eating, you have to wash again without a bracha. If it's bad, you have to wash, no bracha. No bracha, but you have to wash again. Yes, yeah. Okay, now talking, now there's interesting shaila they bring down. Where they come up with these doozes, I don't know. They say like this: a guy had a dream, was dreaming, and he made the bracha and shahakol in his dream. And then he woke up, and he was very thirsty, and he wants to drink. So does he have to make another bracha or not? No, that's what the Pri Sada has. Misha berach b'chalei meberach shahakol, because he dreamt that he was drinking water, so he made a bracha, and then he woke up, and he wants to drink. Tzarich lachzor levarech. Why? Two reasons. Number one, when he was sleeping, he wasn't obligated a mitzvah, so to speak, so he can't. And secondly, the water that you made a bracha on is not in front of you, because it's only in the dream. It wasn't actually in front of you.
You also didn't say the bracha.
Huh?
You also didn't say the bracha.
He said it. Verbally said in his sleep. He said the bracha.
In his dream, not in his sleep.
Yeah, but in the dream he said.
He said a bracha or he made a bracha. People dream that they were flying. They weren't flying.
No,
It seems that he made the bracha in the dream. Misha bidach b'chalemi. The guy spoke in his dream. That's the case.
What if there's a cup of water in front of you?
He still would have to make a new bracha. Negavasi. It's a good point, Negavasi. Okay, now there's another interesting thing. What happens? Somebody asks a shaila like this. What happens if you drink from a straw? Okay, you drink from a straw. Is that called drinking or not? Because the Gemara, Saita, the Gemara asks, Iboilu, Hishka b'siv, if somebody gave the Saita to drink the Saita waters with a sieve. And Rashi says, it's a hollow thing, Kederech shatinekes chasing, like the kids drink from a straw, right? That's the kids' thing to do. So, over there, the Gemara asks, is that called drinking or not? The famous Gemara in Saita, no? In fact, I think, yeah. The Gemara doesn't answer the shaila. So he says, so some people want to say, it's a kid's thing to do, so it's not really a prominent way to make a bracha. You're making a bracha for Hashem. But Leperel, everybody says you can make a bracha when you drink with a straw, because it's the normal way of drinking. You drink. That's the way people drink today. People drink from a straw for a lot of reasons. By the way, there's another interesting thing. We said that you're not allowed to talk until you swallow the food, right? So what happens if you're eating a sucking candy? So now you're eating, you make a shahakol, you're sucking a candy. So when is considered swallowing the first bite? So some people in halacha question if maybe you're not allowed to talk until you finish the candy. Because you didn't swallow it yet. So most people say that the bottom line is you're still, the first, when you taste the first thing of the candy, that's called the first swallow. But if you think about it, it's an interesting point. You didn't swallow the first bite.
You have to finish the entire cup of water, a cup of juice or whatever.
No, but over there,
the juice doesn't count. Of course, you take the lollipop, you start sucking on it. So you don't do it all at once. I've seen people that if they're having a lollipop or a candy, when they make a bracha, they'll bite off a little piece. If they have strong teeth, they'll bite off a little piece, and then they'll swallow that piece, and then they'll start talking. But according to practical halacha, you can assume halachically that this first swallow of the gum or the candy would actually be considered the first swallow, because that's the swallowing for the candy is when you swallow it for the first time. What if you're eating and you sneeze? Food comes out.
Yeah,
there's so many, you could just go down this rabbit hole.
By the way, all these questions that you're talking are mentioned. They're all mentioned.
So, Rabbi, the ideal way if somebody wanted to have water by their bed and not necessarily deal with making a bracha or getting up to wash their hands in the middle of the night would be to have it in a cup of straw?
Sleep with your finger.
That's only if they're wearing a purple dress. If they wear a purple dress, then they can do that.
If you're dreaming that you're wearing a purple dress.
That's even better.
Oh my God.
No. First of all, if you get up middle of the night, you're not allowed to make a bracha drink until you wash your hands. But I'm saying the halacha is you do make a bracha when you drink from a straw. Okay.